In the early 1990s, this team of Navy SEALs was called the Western North Carolina. Their mission was to neutralize a creature that was behind a family gone missing in the Appalachian Mountains. The following is a first-hand account of one of the team members. After being sanctioned by an alphabet government agency, they were to fly out the next morning. When they were first briefed on the target, they would literally laugh out loud. They all thought this has got to be a joke, but they would soon find out it was the furthest thing from it. After being shown multiple pictures of victims who were attacked, this SEAL team member would look over at his closest friend and fellow teammate. He was of Native American descent and he looked pale white. He sent chills down his spine as he mumbled, "This isn't good at all." They would arrive the next day via chopper. As they landed, they seen the local sheriff waiting to welcome them. "I haven't been this happy to see the cavalry since Korea," he would say. He would take them through town showing the damage done by what he called the hairy demons. From trash buildings to disappearing families. After getting as much intel as they could from the sheriff, he would show them an old deer path. "Follow this, you'll find them," he explained, and they set out on their mission. As they were making their way up the side of the Appalachian Mountains, their Native American team member would tell them a story. "When I was young, my grandfather used to tell me all about them. How as a young man, he and his brothers would go on hunts. He would call the beasts wild men. They would harass our villages and take our children. Now I understand why he would never let me out at night," he explained. It was around 1400 hours when they would find their first track. Then they began seeing sign everywhere. They soon figured out that there were 7 of them total, and they began tracking them diligently. It was about 1930 hours and dark had just began to fall. That's when the point man would stop dead in his tracks and speak into his headset. You could hear the adrenaline in his voice. "Sir, I see one, and it's huge." "If you have the shot, take it," said the lieutenant. As he squeezed the trigger, the shot pierced the night silence. The 7.62 millimeter round hit the beast square in the chest. It let out a fierce roar and acted as if it was nothing but a mosquito. Suddenly, all 7 of them began attacking at once. The beast moved throughout the forest with amazing agility. They were so quick you could barely see them, making them extremely hard to hit. Then out of nowhere, one of their teammates lets out a deathly scream. They look back as he's being pulled up into a tree. As they were fighting, one of the lieutenant's superiors would radio in, asking him to catch one alive. "Not a fucking chance," the lieutenant would reply. They would battle the beast for a couple days, killing the last one on the 3rd night. Soon after, they would find the bodies of the missing family and their teammate, or what was left of them, as the beast had been eating them. Next day, they were told to stay quiet. They'd say their teammate died during training. Over 20 have died from training in the area since.